Let's go, everybody. Are we ready? Final week of the regular season. In the first season of the Sonoma State Dynasty on the Rabbit Hole Sports and Media YouTube channel. Gonna see if we can end the year on a high note with an impressive win over SMU. It would be an impressive win over SMU. Trying to get our second win streak, essentially, of the series. But first and foremost, let's look at what happened over the country. Number 2, Georgia beats Florida State in Tallahassee 27-17. It's the 13th ranked Gauchos. We looked at this one last time, of course, because I didn't want to spoil it, showing SMU's record in the intro of this one. But the Gauchos take care of business against the Mustangs, clinch a spot in the Pac-12 title game, move up to number 13 in the rankings. Another 27-17 score. And then it's Texas A&M getting a home win over Auburn, 31-24. Now number 6, Kansas State picks up a road conference victory, 27-21 over Utah. While number 1, Ohio State beats Indiana 24-17 in Bloomington. So a close one for the Buckeyes, but they get the win there. Another 27-17 game. This time it's USC over rival UCLA. And then it's number 15, Miami, getting a 34-16 win at home versus Clemson. Looking in our conference, the Pac-12, Texas State keeps their title game hopes alive with a 49-35 road win over the Utah State Aggies, while Stanford stays in the driver's seat. They win over rival Cal on the road, and Washington State moves into the top 25 at number 22, following a 38-24 win over Oregon State in what is the two true Pac-12 teams, although I don't know when officially those new teams moving to the conference move in. But that is a different discussion. Looking at the conference standings going into the final week, starting in the Super 2, in the Big Ten, Oregon has already clinched their division, so they will be playing in the conference championship game. And in the other one, it is down to the head-to-head matchup of Ohio State and Michigan, which for some reason is in Ann Arbor. It should be in Columbus like it was in real life, but whatever. Small detail. Sorry about that, Buckeye fans. We'll see if that has any sort of impact. We'll never really know, actually, to be honest. But in Ann Arbor instead of Columbus. In the SEC, Texas, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and Oklahoma all in theory have a chance, while in the other division, South Carolina has fallen out, and it's down to UGA and the U. But UGA has the head-to-head advantage, so we take a Georgia loss and a Miami win for the Canes to find their way into the SEC title game. But in the ACC, who really cares? Louisville's number 12, Syracuse is number 16. We'll see how this impacts the college football playoff. But again, conference games not registering for them, which is super cool. In the American, likely down to Cincinnati, Liberty, Memphis. Oh, wait, hold on. No, Cincinnati and Liberty and Memphis technically might have a chance, but I'm not totally sure. Totally sure is what I was about to say there. Unreal. And then in the other division, it is the Rutgers Scarlet Knights that have already wrapped things up and will be playing for a conference title in the next episode. In the Big 12, Tulane has clinched, and Division 2 is down to Iowa State or TCU. We'll see who gets the edge there. Iowa State already done playing their games this season. In the Pac-12, it's down to Texas State or Stanford. Once again, Stanford with the head-to-head advantage, but they will need to win to clinch their spot this week, while UCSB has already done their part in the other end, the Gauchos, moving on to the title game against either Texas State or the Trees of Stanford, the Cardinal. In CUSA, FIU, James Madison, Middle Tennessee, and maybe even Jacksonville State have a shot to be playing in the championship. So we will see who ends up getting in and who ends up falling out. Moving on to the MAC, Bowling Green, Miami, Ohio, Eastern Michigan, and Ball State. All still alive in theory. I don't know all the exact tiebreakers, so certain teams that I'm saying may still be alive, may in fact be eliminated. I'm just straight up going off conference records and all things that could be possible with limited information. In the Mountain West, North Texas has likely clinched. In theory, Wyoming, Air Force, New Mexico, and Rice could all have a shot at that second title game spot. And then wrapping it up in the Sun Belt, similar to the Mountain West, Tulsa likely in, while Georgia State, Troy, Georgia Southern, Southern Miss, and Arkansas State may have a shot at that second spot. In Week 14, we got A&M going to Austin to take on the Longhorns in a game with potential SEC championship implications. And then, of course, in the game, the Buckeyes at the 4th-ranked Wolverines, again, for some reason, in Ann Arbor, winner to take on the Ducks in the conference championship. 15th-ranked Cincinnati goes to Memphis with American championship game implications on the line. Notre Dame, number 18 now, goes to USC. They've rebounded nicely from a 1-3 start. They take on the Trojans as they try to finish off the year strong. Number 23, so a true group of 4 team in the top 25, Miami, Ohio. They go to Bowling Green. MAC championship game implications on the line. And same in the Mountain West with number 20, North Texas, going to Air Force. And then, of course, Stanford clinches a Pac-12 title game appearance with a win over Oregon State in Corvallis. And looking at the projected college football playoff bracket, as of now, there are 7 Super 2 teams projected to go, and Texas State and UCSB projected to go for the Pac-12. We'll see if that stands, if they play in the conference championship and one of them loses head-to-head. I don't know if that would make it more or less likely for that to happen. But as of now, they are projected to get in. But one last hurrah for us on this campaign. We take on SMU at home. Gonna do what I hope becomes, I guess, a senior day tradition. Gonna crank out the Powder Blues. Was about to say something really out of pocket there and not on purpose. But here we go. SSU, SMU, Game 12, Week 14, I believe. Here we go. Defense getting to work early. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Kevin Jennings and company coming in to Rohnert Park for the final game of this season. SMU at 8-3, coming off that tough loss to Santa Barbara that knocked them out of Pac-12 championship game contention. But looking to finish on a high note as they pull out one of our favorite plays, the RPO read slide, get it out to the flat, and pick up a first down. 2nd and 10 from the pocket. Jennings gets it out quick, and another SMU first down. So quick throws early from SMU, and this time it's Jennings on the ground for a first down. And a good march here for the Mustangs, a little reverse. And we stay home and take care of it. Nice job by the defense with the eye discipline, but a manageable 3rd and 2. And on the option, we're going to come up with a stop, but SMU does not care. 4th and 1. They are going to line up to go for it. Here we go. Just enough for a first down. I thought we may have gotten the stop there, but on a little RPO, they get it out quick and in to the end zone. So back-to-back plays with a couple of generous spots for SMU, and they get the first score of the game on an opening drive that takes over 6 minutes. But here is the Sonoma State offense, of course led by Teron Barnes, and the tight end, Scott McLawler, a big part of the offense as well, as he gets his first catch of the game right there. First down from the 43-yard line, and Barnes from the pocket puts it on the money down the field on that wheel route for another Sonoma State first down. 3 straight great games through the air for Barnes. 431 versus BYU, 391 versus Boise State, and 377 last week versus UNLV. Quick into the flat, had someone open right over the middle that I meant to throw it to, and I hit the wrong button. Always fun when that happens, but we get a pressure and a sack right there. And that is our first sack from a D lineman in 5 or 6 weeks. We had a stretch of 2 or 3 games right around the Colorado, San Diego State, Nevada section of the schedule where we actually were doing a pretty good job getting pressure from our front. Had not been happening for a long time. We're only getting sacks from blitzers, from off-ball linebackers, from safeties, and that's really, really hard because it means you're pulling resources from your pass coverage, and a little bit of an explanation for our lack of success there. We do try to bring pressure, but a big part of it is getting it quickly, and we have not done that efficiently. But Kevin Jennings is going to take it across the goal line, and SMU is off to a quick start in this one, early in the second quarter. And I have not skipped any drives. This is the 4th drive of the entire game as we get to 8.5 minutes in this second quarter. So some slow burners to start the game for these offenses. And I would say to this point at least, really the opposite in terms of how we've played strategically, defensively. I figured, slow. We're going to give up points is kind of my theory. So why not do it and try to have as many negative plays in there as possible, as opposed to just sitting back and letting them dink and dunk down the field on us all game long. But a little bit of an opposite strategy here, especially after that BYU game got a lot more gun shy in blitzing. But I would definitely say this was our most conservative effort from a defensive play calling perspective. But the offense at work, Barnes hitting the out route, and we have a 1st and 10 right on the edge of that red zone, and that is going to be, I believe, CJ Peaks down there making a catch. 1st and goal, and that is Cameron Teague, number 25, up the middle, the power back for us here at Sonoma State. His first touchdown of the season, believe it or not. He's had some good, fun, chunked runs, and that is a dropped opportunity for a pick 6. But nevertheless, get him into a 3rd down, and on the screen, just enough. I mean, we are inches away from stops on 3 separate occasions here. So, so close, yet so far in terms of scoreboard results. Off play action. Jennings gonna take off. Has room. Coming down. Noah Collins forcing the slide. On the deep ball, that is caught. Terrell Pace bringing him down at the 2-yard line, and SMU on the doorstep inside the final minute of this first half. 2nd and goal from the 2 after a nice stop. Off play action, and we are in the backfield. That is the corner, Terrell Pace. So we definitely do want to get sacks from off-ball guys when we bring them, but we also want to have the mix of being able to get pressure from our front 4 or front 3, whatever we're in, depending on our front. And we make them settle for a field goal, but Quincy Blue off the edge, a little too aggressive. Roughing the kicker. We haven't seen that nearly as much. If you've played this game, when it first came out, it was such a disaster. I don't know what people's takes are on it now, but I think it's a good balance. I shift a lot on the D-line on field goals, as you see here, and I haven't had an overwhelming problem with roughing the kicker, and if it gets too egregious, start calling more safes, start getting on guys on the edge and using them to make sure they're not going in, especially on safes. That was the most annoying part. When the game first came out, you would call a field goal safe, which basically means, hey, we're sitting back, not trying to block it, we're making sure they're not faking it, and guys would still end up roughing the kicker, and it's like, you're not even supposed to be going at the kicker. What are you doing? But here we go, opening the second half. Off play action. Teron Barnes takes off up the middle and gets down to avoid the hit. Done a much better job, there's the proper English, of avoiding hits with Teron Barnes in the latter part of this season. Felt like he was getting beat up a lot in the earlier part of the year, and we definitely needed to utilize him a lot in order to stay in games. But this last stretch, I feel like we've really found that good balance of being able to maximize his utilization while not getting him killed and putting him in harm's way. But here we go. Got to cook up something dramatic on a 3rd and 20. On the inside shoulder to Spencer Strickland, and we get it down to a 4th and 2. Last game of the year, down 2 scores. Let's be aggressive. And Cameron Teague, a move at just the right time to get just enough. First down, Seawolves. And we're going to pull out the RPO slide and get it to Scott McLawler for a first down. And into SMU territory. 2nd and 8. Play clock winding down. Barnes off the play action. In the hands of Spencer Strickland. Cheese please on the perimeter. And to the 30-yard line goes the junior running back, Spencer Strickland. Barnes looking to move around. Should have just gotten up and through the right there. But a sack. And that'll be a 3rd and 13. Quick out here to Javon Moore. Not quite a first down. And we are going to settle for an Ian Wells field goal attempt in what is his final game. Donning the Seawolf blue, the powder blue in this one. And I would say all is fair now as we get the roughing the kicker penalty on SMU to extend this drive. And I love this concept right here that we drew up. Touchdown. Keontae Tyson out of the backfield, have a slant from the outside guy on the left, a wheel from the slot, and then have Tyson out of the backfield. Run a corner with that, essentially a switch release kind of window dressing in front of it. And you see it right here in action. Have to release that just on time. Man in coverage on him does a nice job getting over to it. But the timing of that one, all the difference in the world. And that's really been the difference in a lot of the plays that do and don't work for us offensively. We have to hit them perfectly timing-wise because we don't create a ton of separation. Coverage really closes in on us quickly, so we have to be really on top of our execution. And for the most part, have done a great job of that offensively. But defensively, back to work. We're almost at the end of the 3rd quarter here, and this is the first SMU offensive possession of the half as they work into Seawolf territory. Kevin Jennings working underneath to number 12. End of the 3rd. We head to the final quarter, down 3 points, and if we can find even just a field goal, or even just a stop of any kind is what I'm trying to say. If we can even just hold them to a field goal, we got a great shot in this game. But SMU has been willing to slow burn it down the field, and a nice cut right there up the field. Touchdown, pulling out a little Irish jig, and the Mustangs get back to a 2-score advantage. In the 4th quarter, offense back to work off the hands of CJ Peaks right there. Barnes going to work the middle of the field. This time it is Javon Moore with the catch. How about LJ Young on the reception? 3rd down and 1. Right up the middle, the fullback, Jackson Gregory. And Sonoma State continues their march, a drive we really need to have end in points. And we missed the throw right there. 3rd and 5 for the Seawolves. A little mesh with that sit drag, essentially. A little football jargon. Sorry if that's just absolute nonsense to you. I apologize. If not, you know, give me some feedback. What do you think? Not good. It would be my guess right there. Incomplete pass. 4th and 5. A must get out of range for Scooter Page, whose name I don't think we have called a single time, at least in the highlights today. And down the sideline, SMU starting to break it loose. 122 yards on the ground. Nice job staying home there by Kobe Garland. Motioning out the back to the air, complete underneath, and down to the 1-yard line are the Mustangs. Gonna pinch that D-line, shift it again, and just a cross for an SMU touchdown in what really feels like a dagger. But you know, no quit, no give up in this team right here. Especially last game of the season. Come on, we got to finish strong. Not going well right now. Looking in the middle of the field, incomplete. So 3rd and 10, getting it into a wide cross. Barnes going down. And we would go for it on 4th down. I don't know why I cut out the 4th down from the gameplay. But on the ground, a broken tackle into the 35-yard line. Now we're more blitzing out of desperation. But that means if they break the line, there is not too much there to stop the ball carrier Touchdown, Mustangs, and they have put it away, put the crown on his head. Not quite LeBron James, but a heck of a performance, and we're going to give the senior, Tyler Olson, a chance to man the helm one last time in what is his final outing for our school. Didn't get to see him too much in this dynasty, just a little bit, but figured we'd get him some run. Puts it on the money down the field. First down, Sonoma State, as we are inside 2 minutes in this final game of the season. Underneath, gain of 7 yards, getting it out to that right side to the 22-yard line. On the ground, Keontae Tyson cuts it up the middle, down to the 13, and Olson is intercepted on the run back. Tyson in chase. No way he gets him. He is gone. Oh my gracious. That is probably Tyler Olson's final pass attempt, probably of his entire organized football career. And it is a pick six, and I've never felt so bad for what I have done to a person in a video game. And I've played Grand Theft Auto. And that is the end of the ball game. I'm so sorry, Tyler Olson. I'd be mad too. That is on me. But Kevin Jennings and the Mustangs with a convincing victory. And then tough way to go out this year, but I did want to talk about some things as we end the regular season and move into what will be the postseason episode next game. But I wanted to start with acknowledging the seniors that will be leaving. That is kicker Ian Wells, defensive tackle Jarian Love, backup quarterback Tyler Olson, left tackle / center Bradley Sutton. He played center for us. Center / left tackle Julian McDonald, who is a center but played left tackle for us. Again, I won't get into how I decide who plays what on the O-line, but shout out to Julian McDonald, who allowed 5 sacks in the first 4 games, and then none over the last 8. Then wide receiver Demetrius Williamson, he unfortunately got banged up, but did have a couple of exciting catches, exciting moments for us. He's more of a physical receiver, and those have kind of been tougher for me to figure out. But hopefully down the line we'll get some guys of that archetype going, and we will honor Demetrius Williamson with their success. And then, of course, the leader of the defense, leader of the team, middle linebacker, Chase Freeman, is on his way onto bigger and better things as well. Glad we could be part of his journey in life here. But moving on to what happened in the final week of the regular season, it was the Longhorns beating the Aggies 41-20. Convincing win on home turf for Texas, while Michigan is now number 1 in the country. I swear I'm not force winning any results here, everyone. If you know me, you know I'm a Michigan fan. I'm not forcing this at all, but they beat Ohio State in what seems like was a very similar game to real life, winning 16-9, clinching a Big Ten championship game berth versus the Ducks. In the American, it's Cincinnati moving up to number 10 in the rankings after a 34-23 victory over Memphis. USC now number 9 after fending off the Irish 27-17. That's certainly a popular score in this game. Number 15 North Texas beats Air Force 35-17. So the Mean Green playing for a Mountain West title in their first year in the conference. And then Boise actually upsets UCSB. Maybe they were taking the week off after clinching a title game berth last week. The Broncos 31-13 over the Gauchos, and then it is Stanford who clinches their spot as Santa Barbara's opponent. A 40-0 demolition job of the Oregon State Beavers. So the Cardinal and the Gauchos in the Pac-12 championship. And then looking at the final Pac-12 standings, we finished 2-5 in conference. Let's note we own the state of Nevada, wins over the University of Nevada, the Wolfpack, and UNLV. So we have good luck against them, I guess. And then 6th of 8 in division. We will note this, we will remember this, and we will march forward and improve. But thanks for tuning in, everyone, and check in for the next episode, which will be the postseason. Find out who wins the national championship, first who wins each conference, and then we'll get into some off-season before we move into Season 2 and get back with some Seawolf football. But thanks for sticking with us on this real roller coaster journey of a first season of gameplay on the Sonoma State Dynasty on the Rabbit Hole Sports and Media YouTube channel. Thanks, everyone.